Most women out here don't want to deal with a man who's going to say, baby, nah, don't wear that. Nah, baby, don't talk like that. They think if a man be a man, he's toxic.
So my question was...
All right, what's going on, Love in the Middle? We've decided to embark on a new journey. Married couple reacts. He say, she say. Red light, pink light, blue light. So we're gonna man, there's so much stuff that's happening out in this world that's related to relationship. And we know that many of you are taking in a lot of these thoughts and ideologies of the culture and people, and
some of it is tomfoolery.
Some of it is tomfoolery. Some of it might be good.
Some of it is good. Some of it is good. And I think a lot of it is the heart cry of humanity for love, you know, and I think that's essentially what God put on our hearts. Like that's a yearning. And I think our sinful nature has broken that. So everybody's searching for it in different ways. So that's what I'm seeing when I come across a lot of these things. But some of the stuff is, especially for the believer, foolery. You should use discernment when you're taking in this kind of wisdom.
Please use discernment.
Please.
All right, so we're gonna play some clips, and we're just gonna react to them. So some of them I've seen and Charity hasn't seen.
Yeah.
Some of them she's seen and I haven't seen. Some of them both of us have seen, but we're gonna react, and so we're just gonna give you the raw from a biblical worldview, a Christ-centered worldview, just to encourage you in your faith, and as you're watching different things and seeing, you know, how people are responding to relationships, marriage, child rearing, all those things.
Yes.
That you're kind of also trying to find a biblical worldview and perspective to filter through the tomfoolery. You know?
I would say biblical kingdom view.
Biblical kingdom, Christ-centered
view.
Gospel view.
So keep that in mind. We are believers that love Jesus.
All right. You ready for the first one?
Yeah, let's do
All right,
it.
here we go. Let's see.
I'm a woman. So what did you say?
I said women don't like dudes who got their own, who don't need them. They rather deal with men who are not that intellectually aggressive, who gonna let them say what they want and do what they want. They rather deal with a man like, not saying you like that, but most women out here don't want to deal with a man who gonna say, baby, nah, don't wear that. Nah, baby, don't talk like that. They don't really want to deal with that. They rather deal with a dude who let them say and do whatever they want to do. And they think if a man be a man, he's toxic.
So my question was, do you with a real woman?
Let me answer that question.
And the reason why I asked
I'm
is
listening.
because if you with a real woman, she's going to agree with you. Hey, maybe I shouldn't step outside wearing this.
I respect that,
this
baby.
nasty.
Let me answer that. This is the problem. The real woman is standing too close to the hose, so we don't know the difference until we start talking to y'all.
Oh man, that's so funny to me. So the first thing that catches my attention is he said that women don't like intellectually aggressive men.
And that was loaded.
And he starts to go into it, and it seems like his definition of being a man is like this, rah. You know? It's just, I mean, that's kind of what I was getting from it. Who do you think is right? He or she?
I wouldn't say it's a matter of right or wrong. I think it's a matter of perspective. But I think she's presenting something to him that he probably hasn't thought of before. Which is like, what are you looking for? What are you surrounding yourself with? Because if you actually mess with, she's saying real women, and I'm just going to use these terms because, that's a whole nother thing. But she's saying essentially, if you are looking for a real woman, and you're
a good woman, I think that's her.
A good woman. Yeah. If you're surrounding yourself with good women, then she will follow you. But if you're around women who aren't following you, then that's she's essentially putting the ownership on him.
Yeah.
You know, which I think is valid as a man to say, well, what are you looking for? And if this is what you're looking for, then surround yourself with what you're looking for. And he agrees with her, but then he essentially says, well, I don't know what I'm looking at, because y'all all mixed together.
Yeah. I want to, man, if I was to talk to him, I'd be like, bro, like, where are you looking? And because apparently whatever he's attracted to is really the problem. You know, I think he's attracted to something so much so that when he finds women, he's basically saying, I can't tell if they're good or bad. And even when I talk to them, the good ones, they're so close to the bad ones, I can't tell the difference. And I'm thinking the problem isn't the women, because, you know, how they kind of say birds of a flock together.
Yes.
Bad company, the Bible would say bad company corrupts good morals.
Yes.
So if people are together in that kind of way, and they're bad, and, you know, the majority are bad, then they're all going to be bad. And so the good women aren't there. And so I think what he's crying out for, he also has the solution to. Find a different set of women.
Yeah. And
like he's attracted to something that he's not attracted to.
and it's very interesting because, well, I think he is attracted to it. I think there's an attraction, that's overall attraction, because he says, y'all all hanging out together, so I can't tell the difference until I start talking to you, which is legit. Yeah. You have to be able to start talking to people to kind of have an understanding. But I think hearing it again, I'm hearing his heart about something that he probably isn't really aware of. And I think it's legitimate. A lot of people don't know how to find the person that they're looking for.
Yeah.
And I think that's real. You know, I think how he's going about it is taking it off of himself and saying, oh, it's women's fault.
Yeah.
But rather than saying,
which is common these days.
It's like, oh, it's your fault that I can't find the right one. Yeah. But no, I don't think it's a matter of fault. I think it's, how do I find a good woman? That's a good question. Or how do I find a good man? And taking sober judgment. If you're finding that the people that you're dating are all of the same, or if they're all the same, the common denominator is you.
Yeah.
Like they're just being themselves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You have to accept them just who they are. I won't say it's good or bad, but it's a matter of your preference. So if you're in this certain pool or an environment, that's what you keep getting, then you have to say, well, I need to do something different.
Yeah. Another thing that stood out to me is that he specifies one scenario that he feels that these women aren't responding to. And that scenario is, oh, if I tell you, you know, they don't want a man, a real, like, or what he say, intellectually aggressive man to tell them, hey, don't wear that. Well, I think that's the source of your problem. If you're messing with women that will wear a certain thing, then stop messing with women that are wearing that thing. Like, find women who aren't dressed that way. Yeah. I mean, just as a starting point. And I think that alone would change the base of his thing. Because if a woman's willing to wear a certain thing and
that you don't like,
he likes it because that's what is attracting him. But then he wants to
get in and control the situation.
Get it and then control the situation and then say, stop wearing it. It reminded me of, I won't say this married couple because I know one of the people in it, but it was a famous couple. And the woman, you know, was who she was. Yeah. And then she got married to the guy. And then he, you know, was trying to exert his Christian values on her. And she's like, bro, like, you married me like this. Exactly. You can't just expect me to wake up and just change and shift to what you want because you're changing and shifting. Yeah. And it's not that he's wrong in what he's saying. The thing is that you don't get to just come in and demand my obedience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of what he's saying. And you know how the Bible says in Genesis in chapter 3, it talks about, you know, the one of the consequences of Adam and Eve disobeying God. One of the huge consequences that finds itself in male-female relationships and male-female dynamics is that the woman will always want to control the man, and the man will always want power over the woman. Power for the man, control for the woman. Mm-hmm. So she wants the ability to dictate each thing that she does. He wants the ability to dictate everything. And he's like, and he's the terminology he's using is intellectually aggressive.
Don't use the word aggressive. I mean, like,
with my intellect, you should respond. And then he's saying, but the problem is women don't want that. They don't want men that'll roar. And
Yeah.
and it's and it's like, exactly.
I do not want
especially not a
aggression.
woman who feels like I'm so in control of myself. I could wear what I want and I could show my body off.
It's my body.
I can reveal my body because it's my body. I'm in control of that. And so it's like,
And I think she can do that, but that's who she is.
the problem is you shouldn't be around women who want to do that.
Yeah. If that's not what you're looking for, then that's not what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So,
I wish I could talk to some of these dudes and just be like, bro, like, let's talk this through. Just ask maybe some questions. Like, bro, like, okay, so you're saying, so that he can hear what he's saying and see how it kind of doesn't really stack up in the fullness.
Yeah, and I think the last thing I'll say is for anyone who's looking for someone and you're finding duds, not the ones you're looking for, I think it's okay to say, okay, I need to do something different. What can I do? And the first thing I would say is surround yourself with the kinds of people that you do what you are looking for.
Yeah.
And not
like
not the woman, but start with the men first.
Wait,
as a
hold
man.
on, that sounded weird. What do you mean?
No, what I'm saying is start with hanging around men that attract those kinds of women to learn from them. And how is it that you, like, I like this woman and this is the kind of guy she's attracted to, because clearly the woman that you're looking for is not attracted to you as well.
Yeah.
So I would say start surrounding yourself with like-minded men who are attracting the women that you're looking for to figure out what is it that they're doing, and maybe I need to shape something or change something about my own mind, because we can't change each other, but you can totally decide I want to shift my focus or change my mindset or change my fixed mindset about something, and then you can start to attract that person that you are looking for. Sometimes it starts with ourselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does start with ourselves.
Last thing I'll say is I think even with that, and even when he does that, there's still an issue that's at the core of his perspective that really needs to be adjusted. And
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Surrounding yourself with those men.
Men who don't have to feel like they have to be intellectually aggressive with women. To use his words. And so that was a good one. Yeah.